Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's Vin PF, and this is the kind of last few episodes of a little American series I'm doing just on American whiskies and bourbons. And thank you for joining me for the little series and for generally watching the videos entirely. Now, you might know if you've been a fan of the show that I'm in a different location. That is because if you follow me on Twitter, it's at NN Whisky. I have been a little bit ill the last few days. Usually I record a few days early, and this is the first day in about a week that I felt like I can nose a whiskey and do not a proper review, but my usual reviews. You know how these things go. Well, it's fairly late at night on the night before release, and my wife's in bed, so I'm down in the lounge in my nice comfy chair, and there you go. I hope you like the new little set for just today. Maybe sometime in the future, we'll see. But today we're checking out Maker's Mark. Now, this is a dram kindly given to me from a friend of mine called Matt. So cheers, Matt. And he's said that he basically disowned me if I say anything bad about it. So we'll see if it's worth that in a moment. So onto the dram itself. It's you guys will know what this is, I'm sure. It's the typically available worldwide. It's the bottle that's been dipped in the spout in red wax. I'm sure the thumbnail will show you a picture. If not, I'll probably bang one up here as well. Why not? So they dip it in that, and this is a proper Kentucky straight bourbon. And this is an interesting one because usually you're at least 51% corn, rye, and a little bit of malted barley. Well, this one replaces the rye, so this one's got corn, wheat, and a little bit of malted barley. Now, there aren't many bourbons that do the wheat. Stuff like your Pappies, and I think the Wellers have got it, and there's a few others, I'm not going to list them. Not many, but it's the first one in this list that is that, and then I think I'm ending with a good one that is also wheated. But what it should do is add a little bit of freshness, a little bit of sweetness, and take out some of that kind of spicy harshness that rye gives in. Rye's an interesting flavour. It's not for everybody, but this should be a bit of a smoother dram. It's bottled at 45%, which is a bit of a funny one because I think a couple of years ago, 2013, they reduced that to 42%, which is still not a bad percentage. But I think they took a bit of a media backlash for that, so they put it back up to 45. I've always said that above 40% ABV is a really good way of a distillery to show its intent in the market. Its intent isn't just to bang out spirit for us to consume. It's an intent of quality, that they've chosen a specific ABV to stick to, and it's better than what they have to make, so all good. So, seeing as my nose is just about working, let's go in for a nose and see what we get. So, you can really tell that absence of rye. You're getting some light, kind of wheaty cereals kind of smells. Not too bad, it's mostly the vanilla. I would just like to say actually a quick shout out to somebody who watches my videos on the website connoisseur.com, which is CONNO connoisseur SR I think it is .com. I'll put the link in the description below. There's a guy called Victor. He comments on my videos a lot, and he's exceptionally helpful. I've made no illusions that I'm no expert in bourbons or any whiskey at all. This is just a kind of documentation of my journey through it. And he's very helpful on telling me things. And one of the things he's told me recently is I always assumed that the vanilla in bourbons came from the grains they used. Well, I had no idea it was basically from the American oak, because we use a lot of ex-bourbon over here, and you don't get much vanilla coming through. And that's because the first fill is the most important. So thanks, Victor, for that. And there you go, a quick shout out for you, pal. So let's go back to the nose. So you are getting those vanillas that we've seen on a few of these drams recently. Let's go in for a taste and see how we get on. So it's got that sweetness, the sweetness I like from the corn. And again, with the cereals, like kind of like, I'm saying like shredded wheat, but not quite. A little bit like that kind of cereally flavours. Much smoother to drink than some of these ryes. The ryes aren't bad, you know. The ryes are fine. We had that few rye very recently, which is actually one of the most palatable ryes I've tried. And I've had a few that I've not liked so much, like the Wild Turkey rye. I know there's a few guys on the websites that like it, but for me, for the money it costs, it just tasted a bit unrefined, a bit harsh. Obviously, none of that here. The wheat really smooths it out, and it surprises me that they don't do more of this kind of stuff. Maybe there's just not the market for it. Maybe this is just my kind of pansy Scotch palate dealing with the bourbon, but you know, I like it. Really easy drinking, which is good, because I think I said on the video I did on TX, which is, you know, it's a cheap basic blended whiskey, but it's so easy drinking that unless you live in Texas or surrounding areas, you just can't get hold of it, so I have to be really careful with it. This, on the other hand, is on all of the supermarkets in my local area, and obviously specialists online even. I saw a deal today where you could buy this and a little mini disposable barbecue for like £26. In the shops it's like 25 to £30, which I'm sceptical of, you know. When I saw this for £30 originally, I was like, not sure about that. It seems a bit high for a kind of lower end bourbon, but it really isn't. That's why, you know, you get confused because it's the lowest one they make, and there are others, you know, there's the 46 and the single barrels and the cask strengths and all that kind of stuff they make. You think to yourself, well, it's the lowest one, so it must be dirt cheap, but that's just not the case. You know, they've priced it well. I would buy a bottle of this for 30 quid. No questions asked, really. I'm looking forward to trying the 46 at some point. There you go, quick review for you there. Hope my grogginess hasn't come through too much. I'm glad I finally can smell and taste whiskey. I've been going through some of the Dreg bottles that I've got to try and self-medicate over the last few days. This is me back to it. Hopefully we'll be back to my normal surroundings again next time, when we've got our final 2 episodes. We'll be checking out the Michter's small batch, I think, and then last but not least, by a long shot, I've got the 2016 William LaRue Weller Antique Collection Tiny Dram. I can't wait. It's the last one I tried. I tried the 2015 and it blew my mind, so I'm hoping this one's going to be maybe not just as good. I've heard it's not just as good, but still pretty good. There you go. Thanks for watching. Always like, comment, subscribe. I love hearing what you guys think. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. All the links are in the description below, and I'll see you again on another No Nonsense Whisky review.